Right, welcome to another video of fixing my granddad's Grey Fergie. So in this one I'm going to try and determine the root cause of why the gear lever keeps dropping out when it gets stuck in second gear, and hopefully come up with some sort of remedy for it. I've obviously already got the top off, now it's time to sort of delve in there and try and find the root cause. Right, so as you can see here, we've got the selector shafts. Now these springs here, I've got dowels on the end of them that sort of act as locks for the selector shafts. So these shafts, you're going to think when you get your gear lever and you get your fulcrum point here, so like down, left and down for second, the other end is actually up and right. So this is your first and second, and this is your reverse and start. But this is obviously, these springs always sort of hold them in, which means because it's not been held down by anything, that moves real freely. This one for third and fourth is stuck in, so I wonder if that's got something to do with it. Also, this bolt, although it's lock wired, is loose, and you can move this little fork on the shaft, so I don't know if that's got to do with it. So it's basically what it's doing is I'm going into second gear, and then somehow it's finding its way out of second gear and it's going floppy all the way around the gearbox, and you can't do anything with it or anything about it. So I wonder if it's coming back through there. Anyway, we'll have a look, see what we can find. As you can see, it's pretty worn in there, so where that gap is there must be 3 or 4 mil. There shouldn't be a gap. Now when you have it in gear, so it's back like that, this gear lever can actually travel the whole way through while it's still in gear. So I think what's happened is it's worn away a load on the side, I'm assuming through vibration or through rubbing of it years back and forth on each other, and also it's worn it into a bit of a, it's worn a chamfer at corner, so it's easier to slip in and out. So I think what we need to do is just maybe apply a bit of weld up this side. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be perfect, but if it stops it jumping out of gear, I'll be happy. Right, first things first, I want to move this shaft forward so I can get a bit of a better view of welding onto the side of there. So I could do with getting this spring out. There we go. I'll loosen it up. There we go, that's loosened up, so I'll get that spring out so she sits the same as the rest of them. I have put penetrating oil down there to try and loosen it all up inside. I'll move that into neutral. There we go, perfect. I can see right in there to get a decent weld on it. Right then, first things first, let's see if this will actually weld. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not going to be a pretty job in any way, shape or form, but that's not what I'm aiming for. I'm just aiming for operational. Can't decide if that's making it better or worse. It seems to be sticking to it at least, which is a start, I suppose. So all I'm trying to do is build that edge up. Well, I've just made life harder. Remember I was taking that spring out? Well, I loosened it up, took it out, got it moving, and then I've just caught it with earth clamp, and now it's at the bottom of there. There I can just about maybe see it in the dregs of oil that's in there, but that'll be a job for tomorrow. Right, I've done the first few tacks, and now it's just a case of getting the angry grinder out and seeing if we can try and make it something like the same shape again. There we go. So She's taking shape now. Well, first things first this morning, we best go do a bit of magnet fishing, try and get that spring out that I lost, see if we can find it anywhere in there. A bit of a sweep around with it. Ah! First attempt, beautiful. Well, she's welded up nicely. I'm just using a magnet to connect any swarf that I'm spraying off with this little die grinder. It's just, well, to be fair, it's actually an angle drill. The die grinder's been a bit big and clumpy, so angle drill. But I tell you what, I could be a dentist. With the welded up and the ground back, and you can see there's no gaps in there anymore, so nowhere for the gear lever to escape out of. I'll be honest, it's not the best job in the world, but I wasn't going for perfect, I wasn't going for new, I was going for operational and better than it was, and that is certainly what this is. Right, well, while I'm waiting for Bob to come up to lift the top of the gearbox back on with me, thought I might as well do a few service items. So that's a job I can do on my own. So let's see how bad this breather is. It doesn't look like it's been changed in well, it doesn't look like it's been changed while I've been alive anyway. Ooh, it's mouldy. How ironic that the top of the breather said wash as instructed, but you couldn't read it because it hadn't been washed as instructed. This is the oil filter housing, just taking it off, getting really clean before I put a new filter in it. And you can see in there? Yeah, that's sludge in the bottom, so I think we might have to clean all the gauzes out and stuff like that as well. While the gauze is out of the engine, I slung it in the parts washer, got it all cleaned up nice and fresh. You know, it's old but it's clean, that's the main thing. It was absolutely full of, in every single little opening, of grease, crud, muck. I honestly have no idea how this engine hasn't suffered from oil starvation and died. But here we are where we are, you know, it still runs, so it just goes to show how well built these engines were back then.
Aluminum.
Right, two of them have got thread, so I'm saying that's in the right place. Thank you very much, Cancer.
That was not corrode, indeed.
Ah.
More oil, I think.
Now the gearbox lid is on, all I have to do is snug down all the nuts and bolts, and as you can see here, now it's shifting gears as it should do, thanks to all the work that I've done. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please comment if you preferred the voiceover to the text on the screen that I normally put. Thanks.